Hey guys, it's Destiny, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over what you need to know about Bronya from Honkai Star Rail. And just a little side note, I am a little sick, so if I sound nasally throughout the video, that's why, but I'm getting better, so it's okay. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So to begin, I wanted to talk about the lore, and rather how Bronya in Honkai Impact is not the same Bronya in Honkai Star Rail. They definitely have similar personality traits if you do know Bronya from Honkai Impact. However, their backstory is actually different. So in Honkai Impact, Bronya actually becomes an orphan due to the Second Honkai War. She was trained by the government as a child soldier, and basically Bronya became known as Silverwolf. She became a cold-blooded sniper who was incredibly powerful. She attempted to snipe someone by the name of Cocolia. If I pronounced that incorrectly, I'm very sorry, but that's how I think it's pronounced. But then Bronya was found unconscious and Cocolia adopted her. However, Bronya figures out that Cocolia is not necessarily who she says she is throughout further investigation on Bronya's part and what Bronya ends up discovering. I won't get into that because that would be spoilers, but that's the gist of Bronya's backstory in Honkai Impact. As for Honkai Star Rail, Bronya is the heir to a supreme guardian of Bababog. I feel like I said that very wrong, but it's okay. It's okay. But she is a young and capable commander of the Silver Main Guards. Bronya has received rigorous training from a very early age, and she possesses the grace as expected of a heir. However, after witnessing the abysmal conditions in the underworld, she begins to doubt, can all the training she's done equate to saving those people? Can she save everyone? Or has her training essentially been for nothing? So in both of these versions of Bronya, she's a strong-wielded woman. She's very strong-wielded. She has a clear mind, or rather, she does doubt herself. But she doubts herself to better something, if that makes sense. So I feel like that remained the same in Bronya. However, I noticed that, once again in Star Rail, her backstory is definitely different, because she is now a capable commander. She's going to become a leader of the place I mentioned, Balawabog. I'm telling you, I'm probably saying that wrong, but it's okay. Regardless, Bronya is basically a leader now, or becoming a leader in Star Rail. Now, as for what Bronya does in Honkai Star Rail, of course this is subject to change. However, based on her current kit, she seems very, very good. The reason why I say this is Bronya is a buffer character. She's an extremely good support. She is a 5-star character, wind element out of the 7 elements, and her path, which there are also 7 paths, is harmony. Bronya is a support character who applies buffs and removes debuffs from the team. And she also deals really little damage herself, which is kind of expected due to the fact that, well, she's a support character. Her purpose is not to do damage, rather her purpose is to use her skills and basically help you to victory with your other characters on the team, like your DPS-like characters. As for Bronya's kit, her normal attack just deals 50% of wind damage to a target enemy. Since she is a wind character, she does wind damage. Her skill removes a debuff from an ally. She advances their action forward by 100%, increases their damage dealt by 25% for a turn, and after the target ally takes action, she increases their speed also by 25 for 1 turn. And then as for her ultimate, after casting an ultimate, increase attack of all allies by 30% and crit damage of all allies by 20% for 2 turns. This alone, just by her skill and her ultimate, really, really good support. She buffs your team, and her skill is able to remove any debuffs on your teammates. As for her passive, after using her basic attack, Bronya's next attack will be advanced by 15%. As for her technique, basically her technique is a support technique, and for the next battle after using her technique, she increases the attack of all allies by 15% for 2 turns. So essentially, based off Bronya's kit, as I've been saying, amazing buffer character. She's able to increase your speed, advance your turn, increase your attack, increase your critical damage, and also remove any debuffs if you have debuffs, which is really, really beneficial in my opinion. Now, I can give a couple, I guess, theory crafting or hypotheticals where I think Bronya would really shine. I feel like Bronya would be really good, honestly, on any team as a support. The fact that she can advance your turn is highly beneficial, since that would essentially mean that whatever character you're buffing, let's just say it's March 7th. Let's say you buff March 7th and now her turn is advanced. If it's advanced by 100%, she's likely going to be the next person to go, or rather whatever order she was in, her order gets pushed up. So now March 7th is able to do her turn faster. And as a result of this, let's just say you're in a situation where you have limited turns. Let's say you have 5 turns. With this being an option that you can advance your teammates' movements or advance their turns, you are essentially able to have more leeway as to what you can do during the turn or during these 5 limited turns you have. Bronya will enable you to do this and basically possibly get off more attacks. Your speed is higher, so you may actually go now multiple times in a turn rather than only once, and so on. So overall, I feel like her advancing a turn will be very, very useful in the case of those battles where you do have limited turns. And overall, let's just say you are fighting a boss, which that boss is really strong, you're not too sure what to do. However, you could use Bronya's skill once again, advance the turn, and you could possibly beat that boss faster, or possibly even advance the turn of a support character who heals, and then you can heal your teammates faster. Let's just say, like hypothetically, if you didn't go before the boss would KO your team. But because of Bronya, now that she's advancing the turn of your healer, now your healer goes before the boss. Now your healer can heal back up the team. So it's just circumstances like that where I feel like Bronya will truly shine. Of course, this is subject to change. However, I'm pretty sure Bronya will remain a buffer character throughout the entirety of Honkai Star Rail. And for a 5-star character, she honestly looks really good. I'm really excited to be able to pull her once Honkai Star Rail does come out. And when she does come out, I will do a more in-depth, like, she's in the live version of the game now. Here's what I know. Here's what situations she can apply to, and so on. I'm just really, really excited to be able to play with these characters and be able to, once the game is out, give you guys the guides and all of that good stuff. So yeah, overall, I feel like that's what you need to know about Bronya. She is a support character, a wind character at that. Her support, in my opinion, is phenomenal just based off the buffs she gives you. She definitely gives you really good buffs that will help you out in many circumstances. And I really like that she kept her strong-willed personality. At least in my opinion, I feel like she's strong-willed in Impact and also in Star Rail. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to see weekly Star Rail content from me every Friday, make sure to hit the subscribe button because I'm doing it every Friday. Then when the game comes out, I plan to do a lot of daily videos so you guys can know as much as possible about Honkai Star Rail. And I hope all of you have a nice one. Peace.